All right, everyone. Hello and welcome in. Thank you for joining me to celebrate two holidays today. Happy Halloween to everyone out there, and happy Victory Monday to us Vikings fans. It doesn't get any better than this. Today's Halloween. We have Victory Monday. We're 6-1. We lead the division, which feels like it's an insurmountable lead at this point because the rest of the teams, Bears, Lions, and Packers, are playing like dog shit. Speaking of the Packers, they lost yesterday to the Buffalo Bills. They dropped to 3-5, 4 straight losses, I believe, for them, and it just perfect season so far. You couldn't ask for anything better, and it's going to continue to be, I think, good news for us going forward. Because honestly, the lead we have in the division feels like we could go 5-4 the rest of the way and still be comfortable and lock up the fourth playoff spot, or the fourth seed, I should say, at a minimum, and host a playoff game come January. So that's what we have to look forward to. And I think that this is going to continue because yesterday's victory over the Arizona Cardinals, I believe, in my opinion, was probably their best win of the season. They had some incidents, they showcased some flaws, but overall, in general, they played the most complete game I think they've played this year. And I think it's turned me into a believer. Up until this point, I've been back and forth. I'm like, are they frauds? Are they getting lucky? Or are they just taking advantage of good karma that's finally come their way? And while all those questions I think are yes, I think that that's what good teams do. And good teams do what they did yesterday. And that's get a win over the Arizona Cardinals that wasn't pretty. But at the same time, I think that we have unreasonable expectations, myself included, for this offense to be good enough to put up 40 points a game and be the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's just not what we are. That's not what we do. We don't have a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen. We have a Kirk Cousins, who I would like to boast that Kevin O'Connell has not unlocked anything that wasn't already there with this guy, but he's playing with a level of confidence that I don't think we've ever seen before. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the hell out of Kirk Cousins this year for taking risks and opportunities and chances and just, putting the ball in play and giving his playmakers a chance to do something with the football. And I really like what I've seen out of Kirk Cousins this year. Now, his play hasn't been great. There's been some bad throws. The stat box isn't lighting up like it's done in years past. And honestly, I don't care because we're winning football games, and that is all that you can ask for. I wish his price tag wasn't so damn high, but that is the reality that we currently live in. So let me ask you, the audience, as my executive producer plays some music in the background. How are you feeling about this team? Are you as convinced as I am that we have something here, that we could be a legitimate playoff team and host a playoff game and probably win one and make some noise? I don't know. I don't want to go as far as Super Bowl yet, but there's only a handful of teams that go 6-1, and we're one of them. So, I think we have to give ourselves some credit. So what do you think of the team? Like, how are you feeling right now? Do you think that they're fraudulent? Do you think that we've just had some lucky bounces? Has the schedule been too easy? What are your overall thoughts on the Vikings season up until this point? The other question I want to ask is for you non-Vikings fans that come into the comments section every now and then. I need an outsider's perspective. What is the outsider's perspective on the Minnesota Vikings so far this season? What do fans of other teams think of us at this juncture at a 6-1 point where it looks like we have a really solid death grip on the NFC North? Because let's be honest, we as Vikings fans can be a little biased. And I think when we're winning as good as we are at 6-1, we can definitely be even more biased. So I think it's good to have an outsider's perspective to sort of get a fresh take on what this team actually is at this point in the season as we head into November starting tomorrow. Now, not everything is all sunshine and rainbows, of course. We did see some flaws get exposed with this team, and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and the front office have some choices to make. Because tomorrow is the trade deadline. I think we desperately need to address 3 elephants in the room. Probably can't do it all. Maybe even 4. Let's go with 4. There's 4 elephants in the room regarding this team that is going to come back to haunt them at some point this season, because eventually there's going to be a good team that we're going to face that is going to see those flaws and exploit them, and that's going to cause damage, and we're going to get punished for it. So what are these flaws that I'm talking about? Number 1, this team needs another wide receiver. It desperately does. I did a video talking about the trade deadline. Who do we trade for? What would we get? What kind of capital? I don't care at this point. I think that they should go all in. You're 6-1. Your playoff percentage chances just went up through the roof. go get another wide receiver, because as good as Adam Thielen still is, he's clearly lost a step. He's not the same guy that he was a couple of years ago. KJ Osborne is good in a pinch, but he's not somebody you can rely on. We need somebody to stretch the field. And the recent rumors that I've heard, and I'm sure you all have as well, is that Brandon Cooks is on the trade market. And I think that they need to go get Brandon Cooks, because Brandon Cooks could win you a Super Bowl, not by himself, but just by joining this roster. It could take this offense to another level. I think that the other speculation is potentially Chase Claypool. I think there's been some rumors linked to him. Great player. I think he could definitely be an asset to the team. But Brandon Cooks is a veteran. He's been around. I think he's even played on the Patriots. He's played on the Rams. He's been to the playoffs. The situation in Houston is just kind of ridiculous, given the fact that they're running with Davis Mills for a second year. But I think Brandon Cooks on the Minnesota Vikings roster puts them into elite category and gives Justin Jefferson some space in terms of this offense, because you look at other teams around the league having these double top tier wide receiver threats like Buffalo Bills, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. That offense is electric. Tyreek Hill is single-handedly winning me fantasy games every single week because of the statistics that he's putting up on the board. I think they should go for it. Brandon Cooks, come to Minnesota. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, pick up the phone and get it done. Next thing that they could probably address in-house is Ed Ingram, the right guard position. He looked terrible. He's continued to look terrible. I don't think that they can continue to start him at right guard, especially once the games start to get very important later in the season. Not that they're not important now, but it might be time for a change. You have Chris Reed, you have Austin Schlottman. I don't know what the status of Oli Udoh is on this team after his arrest during the bye week. I haven't looked into that since. Somebody can let me know in the comments. Probably don't want him back there anyway. But Ed Ingram is not it. At this point, he's not looking good. He's going to need some time to develop, and if we're going to be a serious contender, we need to upgrade that position ASAP. Next is corner. I think we could probably do better at the corner position in terms of depth, and maybe even a different starter over Sullivan in the slot. Let me know what you think about that, but I think we definitely need an upgrade at corner. I don't really know who's available on the corner market other than maybe Sean Murphy-Bunting from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He could probably play slot corner for us. What the price would be, I don't know. Last but not least, and I don't know if there's anything that you can realistically do about this, is Greg Joseph. We have to have this conversation about Greg Joseph, and it's a Vikings thing through and through, talking about kickers. And the only reason I'm bringing it up at all is because I don't want us to get to a point where we have a Blair Walsh incident in the first round of the playoffs at home. I'm just so tired of seeing this guy miss kicks. I'm so tired of it. So we got to do something else. Greg Joseph, thank you for the electric moments that you have had in Minnesota, the last minute field goals that won us games. But man, missing all these kicks, the 50-yarders especially, it's getting old. So, but what can you do about that? Is there any kickers on the open market right now that are currently unemployed? Are they unemployed for a reason that would be detrimental to us making a change? That is the big question. So I don't know, but the Greg Joseph thing lingers, and it makes me worried about what could happen at the end of the season, because I do think that this is a playoff team. I do think it can win in the playoffs. It's just, it needs a piece or two here, and then we got to hope that Greg Joseph doesn't Blair Walsh us. That is my big concern. So let me know what you guys think about all of these different situations. Overall state of the team, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling in regards to the success so far, and what changes do we need to make? What flaws have you seen that need to be addressed? Let me know in the comments below. That's going to do it for me today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.